But I have to remind you that Manchester United are looking like the team they are supposed to be. This week alone, they managed to sign a gentleman by the names of Yolo, one of the few future stars. He was so much linked to Real Madrid, and there was talk of him having a decision to make, and he preferred Real Madrid. That is why I don't believe so much in a few of the things that people say. A lot of people were talking about how he was favoring a move to Real Madrid and he was waiting for them. But Real Madrid came out and confirmed that it is, according to the valuation, was way what they expected and what Manchester United offered in bonuses as well as the initial payment. Was enough to really lure him as well as the team that he was coming from to go all the way to Manchester United. And it was confirmed this week that he's their player. In fact, he joined the preseason training and is already part of the other lot of the team. He's a young French defender, and we all expect him to be one of the few prospects for the future. But they liked him to the likes of Van Dijk. He's one of the few players. Already comparisons are starting to begin to compare him to the likes of William Saliba. But I am telling people to be patient because he's a good player, but he's not yet there. It is only one season that he has been so much superb in his team. But I don't really expect that to be the case in England. England has a lot of its challenges, including the few injuries. If you've watched players, especially in the Premier League, and one of the few determinants of whether they are good players or bad players, it is always their first test of the first injury that they get that really shows whether they are going to be better players. Because if you have that first injury, it takes you out of the game. How do you recover from that first injury, and how do you recover from that game? It has been tested. That method has been tested for me. In fact, when I see a very good player, I I first tell the people that are getting excited, I tell them, you know what, let's first wait for his first injury. We've seen it with the likes of William Saliba. He got injured, especially in the title run, the previous title run, not this one, the last one. He came back, he's been better the next season. We've seen it, the likes of Garnacho. I don't think Garnacho got an injury that was very not too much. It was not a career-threatening injury. He came back a little bit better. I think for him, he has been proven, especially from the youth ranks. You cannot underestimate what he has done. Kobe Mino came back from a very big injury. You remember, he was one of the few stars in the preseason. He got injured. He's been back. He's been better. Now that shows you that now that is the real Kobe Mino that we should expect. Lisandro Martinez, we've seen him. We know what he can do. We've seen his potential, but we've seen what injury can do to such players. Very good potential, very good stuff, very good reading of the game, knowledge of the game, but he has failed to make his mark at Manchester United because of injuries. So while you are praising Yolo as a very good signing, which I think it's a very good signing, we should be very patient and very realistic that there are things that we cannot control, especially to do with injuries. He's not the only person that Manchester United have signed. They've also signed Joshua Zirkee. Zirkee is a very good player, especially for you who really love strong, big players. But I think he has a certain kind of attitude that, to me, really needs to be worked on. He needs to be getting aggressive a little bit more. He's not a very fast player. I think he has that Dutch kind of mindset whereby skill over, it kind of overlaps everything. Skill and the knowledge of the game, the technicability, the tacticability, everything. It supersedes everything to do with the game. And I think they need to learn to be a little bit more aggressive. And I think that is where he's lacking. But he's growing. He's a young player, and I'm talking about players that are below 22. So I think for me, Manchester United are doing very well, especially with their new structure. I think the technical director as well as the sporting director and the CEO, Omar Barada, are really looking like they are making this team a force to reckon with. William, I think the gentleman, Willow Cox, that gentleman who came from Southampton, is another gentleman that also knows how to really sell those young players. He knows how to do those big deals, especially with the likes of Lavia sold for so much good money. And he's really been and a lot of experience with the likes of Omar Barada, to me, being the other gentleman that has worked with Manchester City. He has worked with teams like Barcelona. He knows exactly what to do, especially when it comes to managing a club, especially football-wise. In fact, a lot of Manchester United fans, the reason why they are very excited is it's that for the first time in so many years, football people are managing football-related activities. It's been businessmen that have been managing Manchester United, and a lot of people have been complaining about that. So we are waiting to see how their first season will be. Of course, with Ten Hag in charge, which I still think is worry for me. But I know that the appointment of the likes of Van Nistelrooy and the other gentleman who are going to be in charge of the assistant role, I think it's a build up to life after Ten Hag. I think, to me, these people are looking at Louis Van Nistelrooy as their next manager, and they are letting him, blend with the team before the season ends or before they call, Ten Hag's time, short. And I really think that it's going to be short. It's going to be a year. The extension he made is going to be a year, and I still believe they will live to that. I don't think they will give him more time, but I entirely think that Manchester United, with the likes of people that are linked to it, the likes of Urgate, who is a very good midfielder, I think he's a very good replacement to the likes of Casemiro, who I think will be leaving the team. When you compare already to what they have, the youngsters they have, Zirkee playing alongside, Rashma Shoyland, I would think that is a very good combination, though they have attributes that almost look the same. I think Rashma Shoyland also lacks that kind of killer factor. He's a very good player, technically good on the ball, but he lacks that kill factor. So all in all, I really see Manchester United building up to a thing that is very good. And I recently got to know that Chido Obi, one of the youngsters that has been at Arsenal, a very good youngster that was very inspirational, especially last season for their youth teams. He scored over 10 goals in a game. I think there's a time he played against Liverpool and scored over 10 goals. Was it 10-8? He's been linked to a lot of teams after his contract, sponsorship contract. The contract that he had with the team expired, and Arsenal offered him a very good sponsorship contract, but he doesn't look like he's going to be staying at the team. So he visited Carrington Ground, he visited a lot of other grounds. I think Man City is the only team that might not be interested in him, but all the other teams are very interested in this youngster. He's one of the best when it comes to that age group and him scoring the goals. So he's 18, 17, I'm not really sure about the age, but that is the player that really is also keen to joining Manchester United. And a lot of the other players, I also had the likes of there's a gentleman from Rabio, I think it's Rabio. He's one of he's also aging. He's already in his 30s. He's getting late into his game, but I think Manchester United really need technical people in the midfield. He's one of the few people that have been linked in there. He really loves to come to England. Raul, I think it's Rabio. That is the name. So I don't expect them to really go into the search buys, because you've had the likes of Casemiro and they didn't work out. They're looking for a team that can grow together, and I entirely think that they have it. They just need to have a little bit of the inclusion. So already they have a defender, they have a striker, they're looking for a midfielder, and I entirely think that they'll also be looking for at least a wing back, especially in the right position. So we're waiting to see how that will happen. But Manchester United, to me, really look like a team. And if you ask my prediction, one thing I can say, they will be finishing in the top four because of what Manchester United are as a team. I'm not saying that they are already better off, but I think because of what they are, especially in the history of the game, when you see them getting better, you expect them to do a little bit more better. But all things put aside, the season is what we are looking forward to. A lot of teams are going to be making changes. Man City have signed Savinho. Arsenal are almost signing Calafiori. Chelsea are looking better. They have a new coach. So there's a lot that is happening. So factors that will make Manchester United successful this season are not going to be about them recruiting and having a good manager and having a good ownership. It is going to be about how the other teams perform, and I don't expect them to do any less. All the teams are going to be getting better, and we expect it to be a very good season. So we'll wait and see, but that is how Manchester United are doing. I'm really excited to see what they will be doing this season, but I really need to also reserve my comments, especially with the excitement that comes with the new signings. I think they need to be a little bit more patient. They need to be relaxed for them to enjoy that. Thank you so much for being part of Brinetic Sports. Thank you so much for being part of Brinetic Sports. My name is Brian, and I really want to thank you so much for being part of us, and also remind you that you need to subscribe, share this video, as well as keep it to this page, comment, and share with a lot of people for us to have this community grow. Do not just watch. A lot of people watch and just go, but please subscribe. I need that subscription for me to keep myself in your timeline. Whenever I post a video, you'll be having information about it. Thank you so much for being part of us. Enjoy your day. God bless you. Bye bye, and stay safe.